Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Thursday, August 5th. Big news today. The SBA finally released the most comprehensive COVID EIDL loan FAQ ever, period. It's got great information that should answer nearly all of your remaining questions, whether you've been approved and you're wondering about repayment, whether you're still waiting, or whether you've been denied and are applying for reconsideration. All of these questions are in this document. Definitely watch until the end of this quick video. Thank you so much for your support, and give this video a like so others see it. We're going to try to get to 2,000 likes in this video, so just hit the like button. You know, it means so much to us to cover this information in depth every single day. Your support and comments mean so much. Okay, here it is. We'll also put this on our app and a link in the description. It's an 8-page document, but I will hit the highlights. Here's how I'm going to break it down. First, I'll give context based on our survey data, who's been approved, who's still waiting. Second, I'll give a program overview and some of the new pieces of information that the SBA has provided here. Third, I'll talk about if you've been declined or if you are applying for reconsideration. And at the end, I'll give a quick summary of all this. So based on our YouTube survey 2 weeks ago, around 20% of people have been approved. We think that's probably up to 25% to 30% now. We'll rerun that poll today, by the way. Around 40% of people are still waiting, and around 35% of people have been denied and are applying for reconsideration. So those are the main buckets. They're fairly evenly split between approved, still waiting, and declined. The biggest point off the bat, SBA does not charge any fees to an applicant, period. There are so many scammers across YouTube, across Instagram. Our team tries to delete spam comments because probably every video we put out, there's hundreds of spam comments, people telling you to go to Instagram or WhatsApp. They're all scams. So if someone messages you in this video or elsewhere asking for a fee, promising you that they can process things faster, it's not true. Of course, if someone's helping you go through it, answering your questions, apply for reconsideration, that's a different story. But many of these scammers are saying they guarantee they can get it approved or they have a back door, which is completely false. It's not going to happen. So beware of those. On payment deferment, payments can be deferred for 18 months for loans made this year. Okay, 18 months for loans made in 2021. There's no penalty for prepayment. I also want to point this out. A personal guarantee is required for loans greater than $200,000. Collateral is required for loans greater than $25,000. Most of us are familiar with what is a COVID EIDL loan, what are the loan terms. So I'm not going to repeat that, but I will answer this. Does interest accrue during the deferment period? The answer is yes. As soon as that money hits your bank account, interest starts to accrue. So keep that in mind. Yes, these are 30-year loans, 3.75% interest. What can you use EIDL loans for? Borrowers may use COVID EIDL working capital loan proceeds to make regular payments for operating expenses, to pay business debt incurred at any time. That includes business credit card debt, for payroll, rent, mortgage, utilities, and other ordinary business expenses. So it's pretty broad. You cannot use the funds to expand your business. Can this loan be forgiven? Many of you have speculated. Will they change the rules here? The answer is no. This loan cannot be forgiven, unlike the PPP. By the way, the PPP has a new direct forgiveness portal that I'd say around 10 or 15% of banks are participating in. I did a step-by-step guide yesterday. If you took a PPP loan, you should check it out. I'll link to it above. Again, many of the big banks have their own flows for forgiveness, so they may not be participating in the new SBA portal. So keep that in mind, but you can always check when you log into the new SBA PPP forgiveness portal. Of course, COVID EIDL loan applications are still open, so if you know someone who hasn't applied, encourage them to apply. Technically, you have until December 31st of this year. It goes over eligibility. In short, businesses with 500 or fewer employees. Now, here's a point I want to make. What are the other eligibility requirements needed to apply for a COVID EIDL loan? Credit score of 570 or above, in business or evidence of investment to be in business on or before January 31st, 2020. I'll loop back to that, what that means. And all owners of 20% or more of the business must have an EIN or an SSN. You cannot apply for a loan to start your business. Finally, point 13 here, a lot of you ask about this. Am I eligible to receive assistance through the PPP, RRF, SVOG, or other relief programs in addition to the EIDL loan? The answer is yes. Other assistance received through SBA will not impact your EIDL loan eligibility. Now here is what in operation means. Quote, in operation includes businesses that were in the organizing stage but had not yet opened for business. Evidence that you were in an organizing stage includes business licenses, contractual agreements, purchase orders for machinery and equipment, advertisements, and employment classified ads. Basically showing that you are putting money towards your business prior to January 31st, 2020. Again, if you don't think the amount that you've been offered is correct, you can read the formula here. This is the first time I've seen the formula spelled out in such detail. In fact, I don't think they've published it before. Of course, the cap is $500,000. Okay, what lines on my tax return should I use to enter my gross receipts, cost of goods sold, or expense information on my COVID EIDL application? Many of you reported being confused, especially if you filled this out March or April of 2020. Chances are you did it quickly and you weren't exactly sure. What do you mean by gross receipts or cost of goods sold? So this specifies what that means finally. What can you do to speed up the processing of your EIDL loan application? You can reduce the total time it takes for your application by responding quickly to SBA requests for applicant information, signatures, and approvals. So basically, if a loan officer asks you for information, try to get it back to them as soon as possible. It will just make everything easier. They'll be able to process your application quicker. They'll be able to look at other applications quicker. Okay, I'm going to talk about what to do if you've been declined or are in reconsideration for your EIDL loan. Speaking of EIDL loans and funding, we have a brand new funding tracker feature on the app where you can claim your publicly available EIDL grant and loan data. Let me show you this very quickly. You can find it on the app stores. Just search Hello Skip. On the dashboard here, click See New Funding Tracker. Then you can search your business and you will see the publicly available EIDL or PPP information about your business. For example, we put in Buzz Lightyear Productions. Click your business. It will pre-populate business details. So in this example, Buzz Lightyear Productions received a $15,000 EIDL grant. Tap the grant. It will pre-populate any funding that you selected. You can also add in other funding and your funding goals. Then you'll be able to see your business information, your current funding for this year, and your funding goal, including funding details, and most importantly, our latest posts and curated funding opportunities for you based on your location. So in this example, I would see both US-wide funding opportunities and California-specific funding opportunities. You can click the blue button here to refresh and see the latest funding options. Anyway, it's now live on the app if you want to preview it, and you'll see this on your reminders page. And we have more exciting news on that feature coming out soon. Okay, section 22, what can I do if my COVID EIDL loan application was declined? First, confirm you meet all program eligibility requirements I talked about above. Includes having a business with 500 employees or less, a credit score of at least 570, and have been in operation on or before January 31st, 2020. Third, after submitting your application for reconsideration, engage with your local field office to obtain the support of an SBA representative to identify whether your application can be improved to overcome the reason for a decline. So that is a new piece of information about getting in touch with your local field office to get help from them. So that's amazing. They list a link of SBA office locations. Again, this whole document will be on our app, and I'll link to it below. What are the most common reasons for decline? Here they are: unsatisfactory credit history, unverifiable information, and it goes into the details for unverifiable information. Please read that if this has happened to you. I think most of you who have been denied fall in this unverifiable information bucket, which is pretty broad. Third, you're ineligible because of your citizen status. Fourth, your business activity is not eligible. Fifth, economic injury not substantiated. Or sixth, failure to respond. Finally, how long will it take for my loan increase application to be reviewed? As I reported on last week, the SBA has done amazing improvements in how they process loans. I did a step-by-step video earlier this week on what a loan officer told us. Basically how they went from around 5 applications per day to 35 per day, showing how the SBA was able to almost 20x how many loans they could process on a daily basis. Here it is. The majority of the backlog of applications as of July 2021 will be closed out by August 2021. They've said in the next couple weeks they should clear the backlog. There's more information on post-disbursement of COVID EIDL loan funds. Feel free to read it on your own, especially if you have questions. Link to this below and a link to our new funding tracker. I hope you check it out and go claim your business data. If you've received an EIDL grant, EIDL loan, or PPP loan, go check it out. We'd love to hear what you think. Most importantly, help us get this video to 2,000 likes. Stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.